Welcome to Behind the Boot, a Louisiana sports podcast. Your favorite weekly show bringing you the latest news in Saints, Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and more. Enjoy the show.
What's good, YouTube? We back for another week of Behind the Boot, a Louisiana sports podcast / YouTube show, whatever y'all want to call us, where y'all can get a weekly update and everything going on in Louisiana sports, whether that's Saints news, Pelicans news, LSU news, whatever it is. We got y'all. Pretty interesting news cycle for us this week, man. So I really don't want to waste too much time. I kind of want to get right into it because it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's a bunch of speculation around Zion Williamson. We had some big news coming from the Saints. Unfortunately, Jameis Winston season came to an end this past week, so we're gonna dive into that as well. And then we have to go over the recap of the World Series, man. Astros fell a little short, so we'll get into that. But I do want to start it out, man. How y'all fellas doing, man? I'll start with you, Jerrette. How was your week?
Plain. Another working week. So just trying to get through it, cat. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it. How you feeling, Dan?
Oh man, I'm alright, man. Can't complain too much. Same old.
So I feel it. Now, if I had to answer that question, I'm not doing too good, man. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding my basketball team, and we cover a lot of stuff on this show, man. But the one franchise that I feel like I've been really invested in over the past couple years is the Pelicans, man. Now, we definitely not breaking no new news with this, but we got to talk about it, man. Our star player is fat, overweight, unavailable.
You said it the right way. Good job, man. Couldn't say it better myself.
Enough for sugarcoating, bro. We protected him enough. Everybody made a done.
And that's actually where I want to start, Dan, because I feel like there's been a lot of lying for him, a lot of protecting him. I understand that he is a young guy. I understand that, with the skill level that he has, there's a lot of expectation and pressure that comes along with that. But I'm gonna just say it, man. I'm sick of getting lied to as a Pels fan. I'm sick of getting fed shit, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, they obviously don't care about, giving us the truth at all. So just looking at the situation kind of as a whole in general, Dan, what's your thoughts on what's going on with Zion? Or let me phrase that better. What do you think needs to happen for him to be back on the court?
Oh, we ain't gonna see Zion until December, man. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. If he has 2-3 weeks, we in the middle of November, or we just start November. So if he got 2-3 weeks before they even say he can participate fully in practice, how long is it gonna take him to get into game shape? Another 2-3 weeks. So either he gonna take 2 or 3 weeks to get ready, or they gonna bring him back and he gonna be on a minutes restriction, and that's not gonna sit well with with anybody. It's not gonna sit well with me. It ain't gonna sit well with his teammates, and the damn sure ain't gonna sit well with the organization. Because if we gotta restrict this man from hurting himself, that's not a good investment. You know what I'm saying? They invest money into Zion to be on the court and be able to play. And if we gotta just tiptoe, we gotta keep him on a minutes restriction for a couple of weeks to make sure he don't go out there and re-injure himself. If we gotta walk on water like that, it just ain't a good sign. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for Zion to be held accountable for his actions. At the end of the day, this is your profession. Everybody has a profession to take up in life, and it's your job to perfect that. And if it's your job to be in great physical shape to play basketball, that is your job. You have all the tools, you have all the resources to stay in shape, to be in shape, even if you hurt. You got all the resources to make sure you stay at a playing weight so you don't blow up like a goddamn balloon. He's too big. You can tell. He's
Yeah,
too big.
and that kind of like lead me into what I want to ask Jerrette is, with all that being said, because I definitely agree with everything you said. Like he do have, regardless of, I hear a lot of people talk about his body type and his play style and all this other crap. Like that's fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, every NBA player, not just Zion, you have a duty to be ready to play the game that they pay you to play. You know what I mean? Point blank period. Whether that's weight, whether that's skill, whatever factor you want to talk about, like it's your job to be ready to play. You know what I mean? And so what I wanted to ask Jerrette is, what factors do you think led us here, and do you think there's a solution?
Well, this is just my opinion. I think it just all started the end of last season. He got hurt the end of last season. Like that's another red flag. Now, whether or not they just held him out or not, or whether he really got hurt, was it a thumb injury? Griff said, because he quote unquote gets fouled too much, and the referees wasn't calling the fouls, so he got hurt. He missed the rest of the last 20 games or so, 15 or 20 games last season.
It was the last 10. It wasn't that much. It was the last 10.
Oh well. Anyways, the point
he
being,
still didn't finish the season.
He still didn't finish the season. Got hurt yet again. And then, what were you doing prior to that injury? Before you got hurt again, were you really working out? Because, dude, reports saying the dude was or probably still is north of 200 pounds. There's no way in hell you were still working out between the time you was off the end of the season and between that injury. He probably got hurt. My speculation is he probably got hurt because his fat ass wasn't working out, and then when he tried to go back and work out and ramp up and try to get in basketball shape, his fat ass hurt his foot because he's too heavy trying to work out for the basketball season. Yeah, that's just my opinion. And that's what caused him to get hurt.
Yeah, this is what I think, and I know that this is like a crazy take. Like, this is just me speculating, because you got to keep in mind we literally know nothing. I think just the way that the organization has handled it, the way that the news has kind of trickled out, like I feel like we wouldn't even, if we didn't have to see Zion like dressed in street clothes at the games, I feel like they wouldn't have said anything. Like, they wouldn't have told us about the foot. They wouldn't have told us, you know what I mean? Like, if it was just he can't be with the team and nobody would question it, like, I don't think Griff would have even said that, because there was one key thing that stuck out to me. Was he mentioned that the injury happened prior to Summer League, and that the surgery and everything, they was tracking that before Summer League even started, right? So we talking about months ago. Why are we having scans that'll tell us his healing progress now? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you think that after you have a surgery, doctors will be able to tell you, like if I broke my arm today, right? The doctor's gonna put me in a cast and say, hey, you gotta have this on for the next 6 weeks. You're gonna know that coming out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when we talking about a multi-million-dollar asset such as Zion, they not dealing with just the doctors at the local Ashna Health. Like, we talking about some real doctors. You know what I mean? They would at least have a generic timeline. You know what I mean? I think it's really convenient that he can say, oh, it's a bone injury, and the nature of a bone injury is we have to keep getting these updated scans. Like, yeah, that's valid. Like, there was doctors I seen on Twitter, like actual doctors talking about it, and technically that's valid. But I feel like with the injury being so long ago, at this point of it, we would at least have an estimated timeline. And from what I'm hearing, it's just kind of like, he'll be back before the season over, which is crazy to me, because we already staring at season done. We're only 8 games in, and we already staring at, like, yo, should we just start looking at the prospects coming out of the draft? You know what I mean? And that's what bothered me about it. I hate the dishonesty. I hate the secretive nature that they do. Like I feel like any other team, bro. Even when you look at stuff like the Ben Simmons situation, you don't think that if Philly wanted to, they could have said, "Yo, we having some internal problems. We'll let y'all know what's happening." But even as sad as that situation is to tell your fans, like I'm sure the Philly fans is hurt. You know what I mean? They still at least know what's going on, and we still don't know what's going on. Like I don't even know if it's foot. So my next question for you, Dan, is let's say, which I don't think he'll make it back by December, but let's say he does. What do you think our record will look like, and do you think that we'll have a chance to like try to right the ship, or should we just kind of, let this season just wash out and look forward to next year?
If they saying what they think they're saying, I think he'll be back mid-December, but I think more than likely the target date will probably be the Christmas day. That'll probably be his first game. It's mainly because he's an attention seeker. He's a brand guy, so he's gonna want to come in and come on the biggest day of the year where everybody be watching basketball. And I don't even know if they had a Christmas Day game this year, but he's gonna be back when all eyes gonna be on him to show that he still got it or whatever it is. I just think that it's gonna be a big, brand play. If he is out until Christmas Day all around there, man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't. How many games you think? What, 3 games a week, 4 games a week, maybe. Another what? Start 7 weeks, 20 games. Shit, man, it's gonna be
Yeah.
bad. Well, we won
See,
8. I say we maybe 7-20, 7-24.
that's
I,
crazy.
I, I don't I don't see them going on no run without, and especially in BI. I don't see them going on no winning streak. They might win a game every 2, 3, 4 games and stuff like that. Might alternate wins and losses, but as far as them going a streak, I don't see it. They just don't have enough. Not enough
Yeah,
scoring.
and I like to try to be positive, especially like I feel like anybody who's sitting down and watching this, they actually a fan and they want to have something positive to cling on to. And just my honest opinion, like I really do believe that Griff put together a good team. You know what I mean? It's just when you missing, especially like now, when you missing your top two scorers, it's tough to win games like that. Like I really don't think there's any team in the league that could be expected to really win games without their top two players.
Yeah,
You
the
know what I
Lakers
mean?
lose AD and Brown. I mean, they gonna suck. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
is.
And they've been competing without those guys and competing against good teams. Like I like how they played against the Knicks. I like how they played last night against the Suns. Like they really showed that not only do they have heart, but like the role guys that we do have, they are good enough to get the job done if we had a healthy Zion and Bi. So, uh, Jared, I just kind of wanted to ask like the same question I asked Dan. Like, what do you think the record will be? Just give or take, a little rough estimate of when Zion gets back, and do you think the season is completely over?
Before I answer your question, Ron, I just want to say this. I'm gonna go on a mini rant here. But I think the fans, us being fans of this New Orleans Pelicans team, deserve much better transparency from the organization. We
I agree.
we the fans at least deserve to know what the hell is really going on with the superstar of our team. There's no way in hell that no one, not even media members, not even Nola Jake. I mean, shout out to that guy for the Pelicans podcast. Not even he knows what's going on. Like, and that's a problem. No one knows what's going on, and to sit there and continuously to lie in our face is baffling and is disrespectful to all the people that's putting in time and money, especially the season ticket holders. To just basically spit in their faces like, yeah, we don't give a damn what y'all got going on. It just is what it is, basically, and just saying, fuck it, he comes back when he comes back. That is very disrespectful, and they're gonna lose a bunch of fans
Yeah.
just
Well,
by that.
I'm kind of glad you brought up Nola Jake, because he said something in one of the recent podcasts that he did. He was saying how I think it really hurts the fan base that David Griffin really thinks that the fan base is just stupid, that he can go on this podium and say this nonsense and that we
Pretty
just
much.
gonna buy it and run with it. And I'm really like, because I see the success that like the Saints have, and how like I don't even think, even if the Saints was trash, like people would still watch the Saints. You know what I mean? Like even if we went 0 for 12 and the season was, all hope was lost, like people would still tune in and watch it. But that's because they've like given us reason to. You know what I mean? And like the Pelicans, especially when you're not winning, if you 1-7, bro, at least have something in place where the fans can feel like we supporting something for a reason. You know what I mean?
Like we matter, bro.
Right. Exactly. Because we really do. Like we paying everybody's salary when we buy these tickets and these jerseys and the merch and everything else. You know what I mean? So, but I did want to get your opinion on what you think the season will look like record wise, by the time Zion comes back, and do you think the season is a loss?
The season is definitely a loss. You might as well just start looking to tank right now, because like Dan said, he's not coming back till probably mid-December. And I mean, just not even going too far into December. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Just in the next few games, they play the Kings today, right? They lost against the Kings last time with Brandon Ingram. So Kings, Warriors, Mavericks, Thunder, but even the Thunder upset the Lakers the other day. So, you know, what can happen to Thunder? Thunder,
Yeah.
Nets, Grizzlies, Wizards, Heat, Clippers. I
see 2
mean,
wins.
exactly, but and that's just that little stretch of 2 weeks. I mean, these guys might win maybe 2 games, man, and that's a problem. Like, you know, that's a real problem. So I would
Yeah.
say, like Dan said, the season's lost. If Zion don't come back to about 25th of December, so just might as well just start tanking and looking to better yourself for next year at this point, because his fat ass not gonna be ready till the end of December. Like, you know, that's what you're 30 games in.
Bro,
Yeah.
if they have double-digit wins by December, bro, cut my legs off and call me shorty.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I'm telling you, I don't see them. I just don't see
I
it.
will say though, honestly, and I know that this is crazy. This might just be like the fan in me taking over, but I think it's possible, man. Like it's gonna be a tall task. Don't get me wrong. Like it's gonna take some like next level. You know what I'm saying? Real dedication. We're gonna have to get some of these role guys to dig deep. But I look at how we lost most of our games, like with the exception of two. I think the Bulls worked out on us, and there was one more where it wasn't really too close. But the rest of the games was pretty much like we just crumbled in the fourth quarter right at the end. You know what I mean? And
And that come at the depth, bro. When they buy the depth, they'll just
yeah,
get tired, and the owners get tired, Brandon them tired. You know what I'm saying? They just as soon as
yeah.
we take Jonas or Brandon Ingram out, bro. Like I mean, Brandon played last game, but as soon as we take him out, bro, you see the
Well, that
incompetence on offense, bro. Like
yeah, and
nobody could.
that's what I was actually gonna bring up. There's two people, and I know y'all gonna give me shit about what I'm about to say, but it's two people that I look at that have to make a 180 if we want to make the record respectable by the time Zion comes back. And the number one person is Nikhil Alexander Walker. Like when I say disappointing year, disappointing year. Like I know you guys are like Nikhil fans, and I respect it. I like Nikhil too, but we need him in a different capacity than he been showing up. and giving us. You know what I mean? Like these little 3 for 19 games is becoming like a trend. Like early on, people were saying, "Oh, he just having an off game. He need to get it going." And I remember like in the Twitter Spaces, um, Antonio Daniels was talking about, "Oh, this is the most talented guy offensively on the roster," and he was saying that like including Bi and Zion, which was crazy talk to me. But he had me like kind of hyped to see like, okay, now that Lonzo's not in the picture no more, you got a decent pairing with him and Devontae Graham. Like I'm hyped to see what's gonna happen, and he has not delivered. So and not even close to delivering. That's the problem. So I'm looking at Nikhil, and the second player that I'm looking at is Jackson Hayes, another guy that's just useless, which I was really big on. Like coming out of last year, I thought Jackson Hayes was like, yo, this is the year he gonna take a leap because he looked good in that last stretch of this past season. But if we want to have any type of respectable record, by the time Zion comes back, we gonna need those two guys to like really make a 180 and make it quick. You know what I mean? Because like it's there. We compete.
I don't think Jackson's really playing bad. I just think that he's scared if he starts shooting. Because you can't. It's hard to come off the bench with a big man. Just start shooting the ball. Like you can tell he's scared to shoot the ball because he think he'll get yanked. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Well,
he's looking to the sideline.
so but get yanked for who though? Because Willie ain't playing out a minute this season.
They're gonna put Jonas back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just gonna put Jonas. Jonas played
Yeah,
like 37 minutes.
yeah,
Like
he can't.
why is he playing that much minutes, man? Like Jonas good,
That's
but
that's another thing. Jonas is great though.
oh
Like
yeah,
Jonas was a great pickup. Like
he
I
ran
give
out of gas last night. He ran out
yeah,
of gas.
I give Griff a lot of shit, but it's one thing that I will say. He made a lot of tough decisions this past little off season that a lot of people question. Even me, I questioned it. I still question him, but I will say he impressed me with standing strong on the Lonzo decision. Because as we seen tonight, I don't think he looking like a 80 mil type of guy. But everybody have bad games. Um, and going out and getting Devontae Graham and Jonas Valanciunas. Like those was two moves where I was like, okay, I mean, it's a nice little pickups, but that ain't moving the needle. Jonas Valanciunas moved the needle. Like he is dramatically better than Steven Adams, like way
He's a
better.
perfect fit for
You know what I
Zion,
mean?
but we just gotta get him on the fucking floor.
Yeah, but we'll keep our eye on it, man. It is disappointing. Like I hope that the fans somehow in the near future at least get something, man. At least get us in the bubble, not the bubble, the play in. Like get us something where we can like actually feel like the team is moving forward. Because I look at like it started 3 seasons ago when we drafted Zion. That was like the start of the hope. His year one was very disappointing with the injuries and minutes restrictions and all that. Then year two was slight improvement, but still didn't make the postseason. And then we look like we took 2 steps back this season. So it's a real tough time for Pels fans, man. I know it's frustrating for a lot of y'all, but I really do see um a lot of positives to take away. It's just unfortunate. I put pretty much 90% of the blame on Zion, but we'll we'll keep an eye on it, man. Anything you wanted to add in on Zion, Jared?
He's fat. And
He definitely is.
I also like to add another person to that watch list. You said that needs to start contributing more. Kyle Lewis needs to get his shit together. Also,
Yeah,
he has also been useless on the floor. My God, this guy can't shoot to save his life out there, man. Like,
yeah,
dude. And then he has the nerve to take these threes. That's like you can tell he's straining to even get the ball to the rim. Like, dude, that's not your game. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing here, dude? And defensively, he's also useless because he can't guard nobody. Like, he's too small, and then he's always fouling. It's like every time there's a switch or he needs to rotate to cover somebody else's man, it's always an and one. Always.
yeah,
Him and all, I can't stand it. They always doing real touchy little fouls, and it's an and one.
Yeah.
It shit really bothers me.
Kyra, I cut a little more slack too. And I tell you why, because I heard like I joined a lot of the spaces that Chris starts after the Pelicans game, and a lot of people are hard on Kyra. And I think that's kind of, a little unfair on him just because this. With No, I'm harsh on No because a lot of the reason for his negatives this past year was because what we would talk about. Like if he got on the floor, he felt like if he didn't show out or do something to show that he belonged on the floor, he was gonna get yanked, which was true. Like we know it. Everybody complained about how much Eric Bledsoe played over No this past year. So now that Nas in that starting role and he knows, like, all right, bro, we got nobody left to yank you for. Like, you in there. You know what I mean? Show me something. Play, let the game come to you. Be patient. But with Kyra, he knows that his minutes is limited. And when he's on the floor, he makes good plays. It's just his mistakes are like, damn, bro, you really did that. Like you said, the useless fouls, the turnovers, the missing the open looks, like that type of thing. But I don't think he does anything that makes me say like, damn, I need to get rid of Kyra. I will say though, I wish the Pels would have drafted Cole Anthony. That to me will forever bother me, bro. Like Cole Anthony was on the board, and you looked at the board, saw Cole Anthony, saw Kyra Lewis Jr., and you still pick Kyra Lewis. Shout out Kyra, that's still my dog, man. But I really like Cole Anthony, like a lot. But that's pretty much it on that, man. I could rant forever about the Pelicans. I think all hope isn't lost yet, but it's gonna take a lot. They're gonna have to dig deep to keep it going by the time Zion come back. But let's talk about some more unfortunate injuries. My guy Jabu, man, he out for the season, torn ACL, torn MCL. Uh, very unfortunate because I like what that guy was doing in the first half of the season. I'm gonna start with you, Dan. Uh, how do you feel about the injury, and what do you think comes next for the Saints?
Devastating injury. It hurts, bro. I don't think I've ever seen like the genuine hurt and care for like a Saints player going down. I mean, I didn't even see that with Drew Brees doing. Drew Brees got his collapse along and rib and stuff, like
Yeah.
genuine care. But you hate to see it, man. The guy fought back and was reviving his career and just had it robbed from Devin White. Devin had no reason to do that, bro. Just push him
Yeah.
down, Devin.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, bro. Like, that ain't necessary, man.
I feel like he really is a dirty player though. I seen a lot of that.
I
on
like
Twitter,
Devin.
but
I love
that
Devin. I
that was
love
dirty.
Devin, but I mean, he was doing some extreme shit, man. He ain't even no need for all that, man. You see, that's why they're taking all that extra shit out of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the man going down. Just grab him and throw him on the ground. All that extra stuff, man, them theatrics and stuff. Nobody care about that, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I mean,
them dudes, like I feel like the Bucks and Saints. I know the fans have their version of the rivalry, but I feel like they rivalry is real life. You know what I mean? Like you could see it on the field. I know y'all seen after the game altercation with CD and Leonard. Like they little beef is real. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Whatever.
because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna say that they deserve that win last year in the playoffs, but Drew Brees was a fucking shell of himself. He couldn't do anything. If we would have had anybody, if we would have started Jameis that game, I think we win that game. Just off the
Yeah.
strength that he couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah.
And he like Drew gave him the game. Like turnovers. Like he had 3 turnovers, all on Drew. There's no
Yeah.
reason for that. They shouldn't have won that game. You take that game out and 3 turnovers, we win that game by 14 points.
Yeah.
Tom Brady
And
wasn't
what's
doing anything. Tom Brady was on shackles that game. And the defense, that defense against Tom Brady track record is clear. Like they can contain him. He's not gonna go out there and just shred him for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he might get a little yardage, you know what I'm saying, but he's not gonna be out there looking like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And that's how
Yeah.
everybody treat him.
Yeah,
But
he just random little stat to add to that. Since Tom Brady joined the Bucks versus the Saints, he's 1-3. The game you talking about is the only game that they won, and versus everybody else, he's 20-4. Everybody else in the league. So that just lets you know how much the Saints own the Tom Brady era Bucks. So
and 3 games versus the Saints. You know how many picks he threw since he been in Tampa? I think it was like 14 picks he threw in since he been in Tampa, like total. And the Saints got 8 of them
yeah,
in 3 games.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
we got
crazy.
the blueprint to stop Tom Brady. We got the D line, we got the corners. You know, when we healthy, they can't hold our D line, and they couldn't run the ball for nothing. So it was all on time. And when it's all on time against the Saints, it ain't good. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He not in that time in his career that he could just he still can do it, but consistently putting the team on his back, he's not in that particular time yet. And at the end of the day, you know, we've owned Tampa since he's been there, since before then, you know, and as far as just we match up well against them. You know what I'm saying? We got Marshall Lattimore and Mike Evans. We can put, you know, a Debo or Roby on Goodman, which Chris Godwin was eating in that game. Not gonna lie, he was definitely balling. But you know, they can't run the ball, so we make him one dimensional, and he can't make a perfect throw every time. So we turn him over, and I don't know,
yeah,
man. I just don't. Back to James though, that injury is just is devastating, man. I felt it in my gut. You know what I'm saying? I just felt bad for the guy, man. You know, guy fought that back hard and won a starting job, and you know, you can just tell everybody love Jibo, man. Everybody love him, man. He a good teammate, and people genuinely, really, you know, was hurt that it happened to him. You know what I'm saying? And it
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want to see his season end like that, man, because obviously he had, I think, a better season so far than most people anticipated, especially given the injury situation. No Mike Thomas, you pretty much going out there with some receivers. Half of the receivers we got just joined a team recently. You know what I mean? So to say he did what he did with what he had, I think he had a pretty amazing season. Hopefully it don't affect his career too negatively. But I did want to ask Jared, now that we know that we're rolling with Taysom going forward, I know we kind of discussed this the last episode. I want to kind of look at the next 4 games, and in your opinion, with a Taysom Hill in the center, how you think we look over the next 4 games? So next 4, we got Falcons, Titans, the Derrick Henry-less Titans, Eagles, and Bills. How you think we do?
Uh, well, I think we win this game. He beat the Falcons twice last year. So if he can just not turn over the ball, I think we win that game. Uh, Tennessee, Derrick Henryless, Tennessee Titans. I feel like they can. That's also a winnable game if he can also not turn over the ball. You know, just be competent, be a competent starter, dude. Just be a competent starter, and then handle your business. Let the defense do his thing. You win that game. Eagles. Eagles is tricky because you know there have been games then that they've looked good, and then there's been games that they look you know below average. So that's kind of like a tall. You know, it can go either way in my opinion. The Eagles game, and
Yeah,
then but I hope they win. They can win that game, but against the Bills, that's a Thursday night against the Bills. I feel like they lose that game. Just on the you know just on the strength that Taysom can't sling the ball, and they're gonna have to score. They're gonna have to score to keep up with Josh Allen and the Bills. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
And I don't feel like Taysom can get that done and actually go, you know, score for score with Josh Allen in that offense. But
Yeah,
three and one in that little stretch is good. But then they play the Cowboys next Thursday, the Thursday after the Bills. And
Yeah.
that's, Cowboys, I hate to say it. I absolutely hate to say it. But the Cowgirls they look good, man. They
Yeah,
look
they
good.
do. They do. And I'm pretty much I'm with you. Like everything you just said, that's what I would have said. The team that worried me the most out that next four is the Bills. Even though I think all four are winnable, just with the fact that our defense is who they are. But I'm just looking at the last three games. Um, they put up 31 against the Titans, 38 against the Chiefs, and 40 against the Texans. Now I know the Texans is trash. They beat them 40-0, but that's a lot of points that the offense put up. So if you get into that kind of shootout, can Taysom Hill do it? Is the question. Because I think your defense will definitely help you out, but you still got to score the ball, and that's where Taysom worried me. You got to protect the ball, and that's been Taysom's theme of his career. He just can't seem to protect it when it matters. You know what I mean? So, but I do like Taysom. You know what I mean? I think um, just kind of looking at his skill set and what he's done for us in the past, I don't think that this necessarily mean all hope is over for the Saints. It's definitely not like the Pelicans situation. So definitely want to pay attention to that. We're gonna have a lot to cover as far as like the next few games with Taysom Hill and everything. But before we get off the Saints, Dan, I did want to ask you uh big news from the Browns. Looking like things is going south with OBJ. A lot of people anticipating the return of OBJ to the boot. Do you think we're gonna land him? And if so, does he move the needle for us at all?
Well, it's a two-part question. Can Taysom run the offense efficient enough to get the ball to him? And can Taysom just manage the game and check the ball out of Kamara if you have to? My problem with Taysom, hang on to the ball too long. Be able to get the ball to Kamara and get the ball to his playmakers, and if he got none running, like I don't need him dancing around in the pocket like Michael Vick. I don't need him to be doing. I need him to play within the offense. And if he got to run the lane, take it. But Odell needs the ball in his hand, so we'll see. I mean, I really don't think we'll get him. I think they'll cut him, and the Raiders probably put a claim in for him. The Raiders going to be above us in the waiver claim, I think. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They ain't go about wins-loss record. So, what the Raiders are like 4-3, something like that.
Yeah.
So, if the Raiders put a claim in for him, they'll get it. But the only thing is, now, if the Raiders claim him, they have to pay his salary, his full salary. So that's how a waiver claim works. When the guy gets released and they go through waivers, there's an opportunity for another team to pick up his salary that he's owed, from the Browns or whatnot, the remainder of his contract. If he clears waivers, he can go to any team he chooses, and they can sign him to a more team-friendly deal. So that's the kick with Odell. Is he going to clear waivers? Because the Saints ain't going to be able to pick him up if he on a waiver claim. We don't have the cap room.
Yeah.
Sure, Mickey will try to make something work, finagle a couple things, but I just don't see it happening, picking him up on the waiver claim. I think it'll be more if he clears waivers, then I think we have the best shot to land him. If he want to contemplate with Taysom Hill, I don't think he wants to come with this man.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope he do. Like I feel like the area would definitely welcome him back with a lot of love. And I know that as far as like looking at his career and looking at what Sean Payton can do with a whole lot less talent than OBJ, I think it would make a little bit of sense. Like if I'm Odell, I would definitely think about it. I don't think the Raiders are like just this far better situation than the Saints. So if he
But you know
would
how
clear
Odell
waivers,
is, though. You know how
yeah,
Odell is. He like the spotlight. So
yeah,
he going to Vegas. Vegas is Vegas. But
yeah,
I do think if he want to be like a true number one receiver again, like he need to come to New Orleans. Like he got all opportunity to play in the playoffs at that. Like we're gonna be
yeah,
in the playoffs. So
yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it, man. Last thing before we get up out of here, I know a lot of Louisiana people They had a tough little week. The Astros lost in the World Series, man. And I'm coming to you, Dan. You are our Astros expert. What you think about the World Series? Just tell us what happened. Tell us what happened.
Two things. Two things, man. Just know a very, very, very tough outing for our pitchers, man. Like when they hit home runs, bro, they had people on base. And that was really all through the postseason, ever since McCullers got hurt. We just couldn't get our starting pitching right. Just giving up home runs, giving up grand slams. It was terrible, man. It's like every time Jorge Soler hit a home run, it was a damn 3-run shot. It was a 4-run home run, a grand slam. I mean, it's terrible, man. Like they just couldn't get out their own way, and the young pitching needed that experience to get better. But it's a shame that it cost us a World Series, for them to gain experience, and they just wasn't ready for the moment. They were hanging breaking balls across the plate. They were sitting ducks. Moonshot home runs that they hit. It wasn't just I hit a 98-mile-per-hour fastball and it went out. No, it was I'm hanging this over the plate and I'm letting one of the best hitters in the MLB tee off on me. Just batting practice, man. It was terrible to watch, man. Another thing, very, very untimely hitting, man. The hitting was atrocious, man. Just the averages, man. Home run. I mean, the MLB right now is a game of home runs, man. If you can't hit no home runs, or if you don't have timely hitting, you're not gonna win. We hit 2 home runs all all World Series, and those 2 were by Altuve. With nobody on base, there were 2 solo home runs. Bregman played like crap. Yordan Alvarez played like crap. So with them 2 combined, they had a .195 batting average.
That's tough.
That ain't gonna get it done.
Yeah, not in the World Series. Not in playoff baseball.
It just ain't gonna get it done. It just won't get it done. Like their Alex Bregman on base percentage was .200. Like we had no hitting. The hitting that we did had, only people that could hit the ball was Altuve, Correa, and that's really it. Altuve, Correa, and Gurriel. Gurriel's the only one that could hit too. But we couldn't get to a long ball, and our third baseman and our DH struggled, so we couldn't hit the ball.
Yeah, that one thing stuck out to me. I know I want to say, don't quote me, but I want to say it was the 4th and the 5th inning when they let the Braves turn 2 double plays in back-to-back innings. That was when I knew like it's over. These dudes, they can't.
Yeah, that game.
They can't put the ball in play. They gave it like it was easy. You know what I mean? Like in spots where you need to show up, especially in the World Series elimination game, had to show up. But hell of a season, Bob. You know what I mean? Like getting there is still something to be happy about. So shout out to the Astros, man. Jared, did you watch it at all?
Did not, Ryan. I'm not an Astros fan.
That's tough, man. I read this story. They were saying how there was like, I guess the home run that Soler hit, it was like damn near 500 feet, like 440 something feet that he hit it. But there was a guy that invited his brother to watch the World Series at his apartment. That's apparently like right outside of the ballpark. And they was on the 5th floor balcony. Dude just chilling, think he about to watch the game. Like I guess he could see the game from the balcony, and he ended up picking up that ball. That's Soler crush. So he gonna be a rich man if he put that ball up for sale. I don't know if he was like a super fan or what, but I'd imagine if you were a Astros fan, you wouldn't really be interested in keeping
Oh no,
that
no.
ball. But he gonna be a rich man if he decide to sell that, man. But that's pretty much it, man. Unless y'all got something y'all wanna add before we get up out of here. All right, man. So if y'all rocked with us up until this point of the episode, man, we definitely appreciate y'all. Please support us by hitting the like button, leaving us a comments. Definitely let us know, give us some pointers on what y'all think we can improve on, man. We definitely still in the early stages of the show, but we're working hard to make it better and better each week. Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week. I'm gonna watch the Pelicans, man.
Trash.
I watch them lose too.
Yeah, hey, but I'm a rock with them. That's all right, man. But we'll catch y'all next week. Appreciate y'all.